Just so you know, listen, just so you know, everyone heard all the, like, stifled laughter.
We're never going to get this right because the timing on both of these things are so different.
Oh,
the encoder starts in, like, 7 seconds. This thing starts in 3. We need a mathematician to, like, calculate exactly
also,
when to do stuff.
We need a sober Noosh.
I'm so not.
You're drunk, Noosh.
This is the best thing
You've
ever.
never seen
This
drunk
is the best
Noosh.
thing ever.
You've seen drunk
What are you
Noosh.
talking about? I've seen
You've
drunk
seen
Noosh
drunk
plenty of
Noosh.
times.
You've never seen drunk
I
Noosh.
haven't, no.
No, I'm not talking to you, Courtney. You've seen drunk Noosh.
He's
Oh, yeah, a
talking to
little
Facebook.
bit.
I'm
That's
talking to
right. Sorry.
Facebook.
Well, I'm holding it, so yeah, I didn't connect those two. But I mean, I saw you a little bit, not full on.
At his
at
the
the
New
New
Year
Year's.
party.
The New Year party,
The New
yeah.
Year party.
The New Year party.
TFTI. What?
Next time we'll invite you to our. But here's the thing: it's out in Valencia.
It's in Valencia.
Oh,
That's
so
where
I don't mind
you don't
driving.
mind? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, it'd be fun to have you. I think you'd mix well with the crowd
Thank
there.
you.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing I want to talk about today, or a little bit. You know, if you guys have anything else added in, but okay. 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to have an episode last week. I was going to bring this up, but we didn't. But 2 weeks ago, I had this thing that I became really, really obsessed
Diarrhea.
with.
Oh.
Obsessed with.
Okay.
You became obsessed with diarrhea.
I have not had diarrhea in like 15 years, dude. I'm good.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's a very specific.
God, why did I just say
What a
that?
great achievement for you.
Dude, I can't believe I just said that. Like, that's a
Wait,
weird...
why? It's a thing to be proud of. It's not like you're like,
Yes.
I've had diarrhea for 15 years.
My intestines have been functioning
I
at
have a-
top performance.
Yeah, you're just basically...
Ladies. So, 2 weeks ago, I've been obsessed with this one thing, right? And the thing is this: I was at my internship. My internship's at this radio station, and I turned to my station manager, and I said to him,
God.
"You remember this, yeah?" So I said to him, "Hey, Steven, how long has the beat dropped, and when did the beat first drop?" Oh my god! Because seriously, when you think about it, when did it first happen? When did the beat first drop? That moment. Okay, for anybody on Facebook like me who's not with it and doesn't know, I'm talking about that moment where the music's getting hype, and then suddenly it drops, and then you hear like a bass voice go like, and the wiffle ball goes, and then it's just like it boosts.
Yeah. Then the beat drops.
And the beat drops.
Yeah.
So
You're really not with it.
I know.
As he...
So I actually did my research, and I found out when the beat dropped.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So the beat first dropped in 1992 in a nightclub in London called Tom Sawyer Tuesdays, right? The DJ, I forgot his name though. They know the DJ who did this, right? So here's the thing. You have to imagine the people in that club, right? They're dancing, they're having a good time. They're probably on something, so they're just seeing lights everywhere. Everywhere's lights. They're just having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, this DJ does something nobody's ever done before. He drops the beat, and can you, dude?
Their brains exploded.
The people are probably dead. Every single person in that club is probably dead because all they saw was light and the floor collapsing beneath them. Like they didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it happened. That was the first time the beat dropped, and the world was never the same.
And what was the club called?
Tom Sawyer Tuesdays.
What a stupid club.
Well, it's British, so it's probably cool over there, and we just don't know it.
Maybe. Yeah.
One thing I want to add though is I believe that the beat dropping actually changed human, it changed the way we think about things. And now if music can't have a beat drop, it can't achieve a higher level of quality. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like alternative rock and roll, for example. You know why alternative rock and roll is not played on the radio as much these days? It's because the beat can't drop, man. It's because
Is it not played on the radio?
Not as much.
KCRW, man.
Yeah, there's
Come on.
tons
Come on.
there's
Top
tons-
40.
Country
Guys,
has never had a beat drop ever in the
top
history of country. There's plenty of
40.
country stations.
That's why nobody listens to country.
Guys,
country sucks.
everybody
but
knows
I'm
that
saying,
the radio is dead. Pandora is the future. The only radio that matters is Top 40 because it's a ranking system.
Everybody
cool.
knows this.
So,
By the way, everybody
Drunk
knows,
Noosh is really into the beat drop. And he's really into...
By the way, I'm just going to add also, though, that I literally know nothing about music. I don't know much about music.
Dude, you know so little about music that all you listen to is soundtracks.
I listen to the Home Alone soundtrack often.
That's what he listens to driving to school and work.
What?
Yeah. I rock out to that a lot. So, do you guys have
man.
anything to add, or what's going on with you guys?
We just... You're a bad friend.
Why?
Because all this time that we've been here, You've never told me
I did
that
not
there's
do
a
that,
freaking bar like right there.
There's a bar.
There's a bar 30 feet from the station.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, we should probably mention
Noosh.
this is really important. Cynthia, we'll do introductions later, but Cynthia we brought her on the show before. She is like the grandmother of the show. I hope that's not like offensive, but she's the grandmother of this show.
She's like, I love it. It's cool.
Without her, there is no show. Me and Ryan are the fathers of the show. Courtney's a cool aunt, so she's the grandmother though. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the mother? Is there a mother?
There's no.
This show's adopted.
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah, we're
21st century, man.
This is 21st
Exactly.
century. You can have two fathers for a TV,
It's
podcast.
legal.
Yeah.
We're a progressive show.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
hold my hand, honey.
Oh god. You know how Noosh is really out of the loop? He doesn't know what TFTI means.
I didn't. I actually had to ask her.
She explained it to him.
TFTI.
Actually, I consistently forget what SMH means. Like, I'm like, what does SMH mean? I always think it means shut my hole. I don't
So
know why.
on that, my sister, for the longest time, she didn't know what SMH means, and she just thought it meant. She thought it just meant smith.
Wow.
Just smith.
Well,
That's a good one.
that is
That's a good
kind
one,
of-
Smith.
Like
Kind of.
a shrug.
Yeah.
Let me see.
sound of
I'm
a
gonna
shrug.
I'm gonna quiz you real quick.
Okay.
What's okay, TFTI
Wait, I have to
SMH.
say I'm with him on that. I don't know what TFTI means.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh.
How about
Yeah.
LOL?
Okay.
You know what LOL.
Yeah, of course. LOL's transcended a definition.
Yeah.
And now it is
It's
what
just
it
its
is.
own
How
thing.
about LMFAO?
Yeah, I know
yes.
that one.
What is it? What is it?
Laughing my fat ass off.
What? How many F's do you have
It's
in
just laughing my ass off.
Wait, LMFAO? You said LMFAO.
My freaking fucking.
Oh.
I don't know if I can
It's
curse
fu-
it,
who's,
but
Oh.
who's fat? Why are you saying laughing?
I always thought it was fat.
how
ass
about FOMO? Do you know what
Oh,
FOMO?
it's a fear of missing
fear
out.
of missing
Yeah,
out.
okay. All right,
I
yeah.
taught him that. I taught Ryan that one. Yeah,
Did you?
I did. You're like, what? Did you just make that up? And I was like, no, man, it's a thing.
Oh, I don't remember.
How about TFYM?
TFYM.
Thanks for what TFY TM
TFYM.
TFYM. Thanks for your
Oh, W.
mom.
Something there too.
You can't just like add letters.
It's because I'm thinking
while
about it.
he's trying to.
I just
Thanks for
need it.
your white mom.
It's the face you make when. Yeah, I was like, what
or
the
that
hell
face
is
when,
this?
or whatever that
What's
Yeah.
I
that
love how
face you
language has
make
just
when-
turned into acronyms.
that moment when.
Oh. I mean,
That
actually,
face one.
we're gonna have a topic on this conversation at some point. But I mean, they say that the internet and the way internet language has evolved, the abbreviation actually mirrors the evolution of the telegram. Like the telegram and the internet actually have a lot of similarities in terms of how the language has evolved as a result of these, inventions. Basically,
Yeah.
Have you heard of bone apple tea?
Bon appetit.
Bone apple tea.
Bone apple tea?
No, not bone appetit. Bone apple tea.
Bone apple tea.
No.
No, it's
I
like
cannot
bon
say I've had the
appetit.
privilege.
Is
I
that
don't-
just like someone really butchered bon appetit?
Yeah, just
and
somebody.
now everyone
it's
just
like
thinks
a
that's
thing.
how you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like a thing.
I'm really glad to be in California.
and there's
but that's not a problem.
Olive
We're
Garden.
so educated and
Well, I don't want to say educated.
What is it?
but
Olive
we,
Garden.
all of garden.
Yeah, Olive
Olive
Garden.
Oh my God.
Somebody posted a picture and then they're like, at Olive Garden, and they're like, about to enjoy my Olive Garden. And
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's, and now people have made it a thing that they kind of like.
You know what? Actually, I've been saying this for a while. Is I think, at least for me anyway, I'll like ironically say stuff. Like for a while, I never said bro because I thought it was stupid.
I said
It
bro
is
all the time. Remember that
and
time?
then I started saying it as like a joke.
Yeah.
Same thing with like it's lit or like savage.
Oh,
I would just
man.
say that stuff as a joke, and now it's like I say it all the fucking time as part of my
Dude,
vocabulary.
during that time where I went through a period where I was saying bro all the time, like I was like,
Didn't you also try to bring boss back? Wasn't that a thing? you
Boss.
did
yeah,
for
I
a
tried to
while?
bring boss back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Also, I've been trying to bring back a new thing. Basically, instead of saying cool, you say that's gold hat, cool cat.
Oh my
No,
god.
Stop trying to make
just
fetch
stop.
happen.
That's
I
not.
was just
No.
thinking.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
man.
It's
well-
like the Great Gatsby or something. Old
Yeah,
sport.
kind of
Old
sport.
sport.
No.
All right, well let's get this thing going.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Get ready.
not even gonna try. I'm not. You know what? I was gonna try. Like off the top. Here's the thing.
You were gonna try to make a fake name for the show.
Yeah. Sometimes I do this thing. You might have seen it, where I will be saying like random words, like just kind of making bullshit banter. But in my mind, I'm like frantically thinking of like a really good. I'm doing that right now. I'm trying to think of
you're
a good,
stalling.
I'm stalling, right?
That's the term for what you're doing.
I don't have a fake name for the show.
Welcome to the one glass of water.
Welcome
got me drunk
to
show.
that. Thank you, Ryan, for
you're
your
welcome.
half-assed attempt.
I tried.
To help
The wine cooler.
Not really.
The wine cooler.
Hey.
Oh, dude, the creativity of Cynthia is like it's impressive. Like you do well. Actually, I was complimenting her on the fact that like she's so comfortable on the show. I mean, well, she's done a radio show herself, so
Yeah, right.
makes sense. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the Wine Cooler. I'm your host, Anush Kumar Singha, and your other host, go ahead.
Who's drunk?
Yes.
You're drunk off of
Well, I'm not drunk. I'm just
one. You should be.
Listen,
We had the opportunity to
The
be.
funny thing was, we went to the bar and Ryan offered to get me something, so he was like, talking to the
Yeah,
person.
so I was
Yeah.
like, let me get whatever IPA you have on tap. And this guy was
She
like, oh, I
asked.
need wine. I
She
don't
asked.
drink beer. So
Yeah.
she's like, okay, well, what wine do you want? And he's like, the cheapest wine,
Listen.
the cheapest red wine you have.
Here's the thing. That girl, when she heard me say that, like, basically she had a psychological profile. She could join the FBI at this point. Like, she had a psych report on exactly who I was.
She knows the kind of
as
person
soon
you
as
are.
I said that, yeah.
Also, then she was like, well, it's like barefoot Merlot. Is that okay? Like, that's such shitty wine that she had to ask him still. Like, are
She
you
wanted to make
sure
sure.
that's
And
okay?
And
You're
I
drinking
didn't know
like
any better. I didn't know
it's just
any
like,
better.
of course.
I was like, that's great. Awesome.
It was cheap.
It was cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Ryan.
And,
I'm Courtney.
man, you guys never say your last names or like, you're like,
Rajan. There you go.
yeah,
Rajan.
that is how you say your name.
Yeah, it
Did
is
you
how I say
almost
my
try to
name.
correct her on how to? Did you just
I
assume
did.
her gender?
Were you going to say Rahan?
No, I was saying
No, okay. 'Cause I've
Rajan.
done
No,
that.
no, I'll say Rajan.
No, there's
Yeah.
no zh. It's just gin. Rajan.
Rajan.
The way I always say it, just like think of raw, like raw, and gin, like the drink.
drink
The
some gin.
drink.
Yeah, Rajan.
Yeah. And our guest for today is Cynthia.
Hello, everybody. This is Cynthia Gomez Reyes, hailing from Toluca, Mexico. The first of her name, Queen of the Andals.
Former host of Life of Sin.
That's right.
Top-rated show on KDHR.
Yep.
Yeah.
KCRW.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
the hell? I wish. Hello.
All right. So, basically, breaking down what
Shot.
we are. Yeah, no problem. On this show, whenever
Every time he says
Yeah.
basically,
Basically, you're
people are
supposed to
supposed to
take
take
a
a shot.
it's a shot.
We're trying to kill people,
Yeah.
pretty
Man.
much.
I
Oh,
say
yeah.
it a lot. Okay,
May
so
the force be
Don't
with
operate
them.
heavy machinery while
Yeah.
listening to this show.
Don't stand up. Period.
I mean, a lot of people take the more extreme advice and just not listen to this show.
That's
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
If you want to not die,
Yeah.
there's always that.
So, in line with the theme for today's episode,
Right.
I'm gonna for the game, right? So, if we were all dating apps, I have one for you too.
Oh,
If we were all
man.
dating apps, Ryan, easy, you'd be Tinder, without a doubt in my mind.
What? Okay, but what's the reasoning though? Like,
You
why-
know the reasoning.
No, I don't. I'm asking you.
Well, he
Because
might know,
you're
but
on
we don't know.
fire.
That's true.
because I'm on fire.
Yeah, because Ryan's on fire.
With the
Ryan,
ladies.
Ryan,
shallow.
listen. Ryan
Oh,
is
man.
the guy. No, Ryan. Listen, if there's one thing I know about Ryan, he's not shallow. He is a deep person. He has morals more than I do. He's more
You're blushing
ethical
a
than
little
I
bit,
do.
man.
Yeah,
Stop it.
yeah.
No, stop it.
So,
Oh shucks.
no, I mean, because Ryan is the guy who has an obscene amount of matches, like obscene, where most guys are like, oh, I have X number of matches, and Ryan's just like, I have X to the 5th power of match. Like he has an extreme amount of matches, so many that sometimes the matches get lost in his,
Sure.
Anyway,
I'm not on Tinder anymore, by the way. So
you're officially off Tinder now.
I am. Actually, I've been for a while.
You know, if this was the past, this would be the moment where you're like, Noosh, I'm gonna give you my black book. Here's all my numbers. Here's all the numbers
Do
I've
you
ever
want?
collected.
Do you weirdly want all the matches. I don't know how that's gonna work for you.
I don't
but
think you can transfer the
You can,
matches.
you can just go talk to these girls, and then when you meet them, just be like, "Oh, I got a tan."
If you give me
okay.
if you give me access to your Tinder, I can just message them and let them know, hey, by the way, I'm not this person.
You've been
other guy.
catfished.
Catfish.
But I'm like openly admitting to the catfish. I'm like, listen, you're being catfish, but would you like to get a drink?
Take a chance.
Take a chance
Well,
on
this
love.
guy was honest. Fuck it.
I'm really banking on that girl, basically. So, you know what, man? Here's the thing. By the way, that's why Tinder is actually behind compared to the other apps, because other apps have the ability to pass along matches. Like, oh, I got this match, but you know what?
I think
Courtney...
you can do that on Tinder. You can be like send to a friend or
can
something.
you? Then
Can?
why the...
No. It's not matches though. You just see a person and you're like,
Oh.
oh, this person would like
I see.
her.
Oh.
Well,
That doesn't mean you match with them.
right. Well,
Noosh, listen, man. If you want to date girls, you have to put in the work to date girls. You can't just have someone else throw people at you and you just be like, oh, thanks. I don't want to do anything. Thanks.
I'm
like land on my penis area. That's not how it works.
well, you know,
It's not?
I'm very busy. I don't have the time to do the work you do. I mean, for Ryan, it's like it was a full-time job at one point.
What work? You just talk to people if you want to talk to them.
That is work. Okay, so
Jesus. All right.
Ryan's Tinder. Clearly, this conversation has shown that. So, Courtney,
Yes.
you are Coffee Meets Bagel. Have you
Okay.
heard of? Are you familiar with?
I am familiar with
You're
it.
told. You know why? Also, by the way, Coffee Meets Bagel, though, they say it's a really progressive sort of dating app, only because it generally caters to the 25 to 34 crowd. People who are, because basically it's one of those things where the matches are based on activities. There's like an activity element involved in that.
Yeah.
So, and also the girls are, like, they actually do this really good job of catering to both types of focus, because they know that guys focus on quantity, girls focus on quality. So they allow
yeah, as demonstrated by your obsession with the number of matches I had.
Right.
Actually, you know what's funny? As I was talking to Courtney on the way down here
Yeah, I was just thinking
about, I was like, yeah, I had like a lot of matches, I told her the number,
Mm-hmm.
or like the rough idea, and she was like, geez. And I was like, well, no, listen, like of those matches I talked to,
right.
maybe
many, yeah.
80%, and then I actually went out with like
10.
Yeah.
not even 25%.
the matching is the easy part. Beyond that, it's
All you gotta do is
You
sit
know
on
what?
the toilet
Listen.
and swipe right.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's easy for a girl to say that, and it's easy for Ryan to say that. Matching is not easy.
Really?
It is not easy. But then again, I've been told though by
Your
Ryan,
profile's not- yeah.
my profile's not great, I guess. So
Oh.
I gotta work on that, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
so.
but-
What was the reasoning behind why?
No, because Coffee Meets Bagel apparently is like really like smart in how it focuses on dating.
Okay.
It allows the guys to just quantify, just basically just like as many girls as you
Yeah.
want, and the girls to get like everybody gets a certain number of picks.
Yeah.
So it allows you, instead of like having like 50 people to like swipe on or whatever, it gives you one per day, and you're like, do I really like this person? It allows you to think about
Yeah.
that person. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. So,
Okay.
and I felt like the whole scientific approach, the kind of more effective approach, it's a very Courtney thing. you know?
Okay.
By the way, I was initially going with Match.com, but I did my research, and I found out Match is actually not as effective as they claim to be.
You put a lot of
Yeah,
research
you
in all
did.
these
You
dating. You
really
know a lot
thought
about these
about
dating
this.
sites.
I do. I really do. Cynthia, for you, I went with Bumble. And the
I
reason-
knew it.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
The only reason why though is because you are like a proud, strong feminist.
Thank
and
you.
Bumble is like the
Yep.
women have the control dating app.
JB told me actually that the
Justin
the
Bieber?
girl. Oh no, our friend JB. That the girl who made Bumble or started Bumble used to work for Tinder, and she was like, "This is pretty shitty for women." So she was like, "Fuck this," and she went and made her own thing.
Nice.
Bumble.
Actually, by the way,
Yeah.
speaking of Coffee Meets Bagel, the creator of Coffee
We weren't
Meets
talking
Bagel,
about that anymore,
well,
but
previously. But the creator of that actually met her current boyfriend through her own app. She made her an app.
Nice.
nice.
Like, yeah. So then that's you.
And
For-
what,
you
thank
are-
you.
For
yeah.
me, I thought this was really I don't know. For me, I just thought it was really funny. So,
Pornhub.
oh god,
Christian Mingle.
no, oh god,
Farmers only.
What?
oh my god.
You beat me to it.
I went with Zeus. Only because
Oh, okay.
no one is getting messages, no one wants to pay, and no one's getting laid. That's Zeus.
That's kind of sad.
I'm laughing about it.
He's crying. You guys should see him. He's crying.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
you could see
tears
him,
are
if we
internal.
still had Facebook Live,
We
going
can
on.
bring it back up.
No, listen, if I was in high school, I'd be getting all the babes because in high school the whole thing is all about not caring, you know? So
Yeah.
like I've got that down to science.
Yeah. Well, congrats.
That
I
works.
guess.
Help me with my profile.
Yeah, I will. I guess.
Now you've been saying that for a year.
You never tell
I gave
me.
you my
like,
password.
I'm not gonna log into your. Just give me your damn phone. Like, why am I
Okay,
gonna
well.
go through all this thing? Especially now that I don't have it, I'm gonna like download it.
Well, was it
Log in
was it
for
last
you.
time that you gave special advice for about
the
dick
dick
pics?
pic? Dick
So
pic
maybe you
etiquette?
can give some advice of
Yeah.
what are some key things that guys can do.
I love the look on
for-
Cynthia's face, by the way. Like,
Oh
she was
yeah,
like-
she didn't hear about
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna abbreviate. There was a whole conversation, but abbreviate. It's like this, Cynthia.
Okay.
By
The
way,
rules of dick pics.
There's
rules
a
of
rule.
dick-
The guys'
etiquette of dick
rules.
pics. Wasn't that our book title?
It's
Yeah.
dick pic
Dick
etiquette.
pic etiquette.
Dick pic
It is for
etiquette,
guys.
there
By
you
the
go.
way, this is only if the girl wants it. Never
Yeah,
unsolicited.
never.
Never
Uh-uh.
unsolicited.
That was one
Never.
of the rules.
Yeah, that's one of the rules.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like
rule number one.
That's
Number
rule number
one.
one.
2, 3, 4, and
Always
5.
solicited, never unsolicited. So, other rule is that if a girl sends you a picture of the upper area, you compliment her and you thank her, and that's it. You don't do anything else. However, if she sends 2 pictures of the upper area, you immediately respond with a dick pic. And but there's a caveat to that, which is if the girl sends a picture of the lower area, immediately respond with a dick pic. Immediately.
Would you agree with those?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, because
It's-
then that's like a compliment.
it's-
you
it's
know,
common
like damn,
courtesy.
you got me hard. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Please be hard when you send the
Yes.
picture.
Do
though.
not send like a slug-looking
I
thing.
mean, just
Nope.
All sad and
Yeah.
flaccid.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's always important to have a gallery at all times prepared. So, well,
Yeah, the
anyway,
other thing we learned about Noosh is that he has one in his phone at all
always
times.
at all
just-
times, always
Just in
ready
case.
to go, anytime, anywhere.
Don't go. I've seen it on accident. Don't go
Yeah.
through his.
On accident, quote unquote.
It wasn't his fault. His ex swiped on it. She was.
He was
looking
like
at
showing
my phone.
someone a picture, and
Of-
she like
yeah,
looked
of-
through his shit and.
Yeah. So, anyway, but it's fine. I mean, we're close. We're like that. That's fine. You know.
Okay.
I mean, it hasn't gone the other way, but I don't mind that part, I guess. On that topic, which is related, our topic for today is romance.
Yeah.
So,
Woo!
but this was supposed to be, by the way, the topic is supposed to be Valentine's for Valentine's Day, our second official holiday
Holiday themed
episode.
That we didn't do.
We didn't get to do. There's some circumstances, but we're moving it to romance today. So
So
today's
it
topic
works.
is
Romantic.
exactly. So starting off, Courtney, what do you got for us?
So there's a couple different stories I'm going to share, but the theme of it is people who have relationships with non-human objects.
Okay.
That's
a
what
name
it
for
is.
that, yeah.
So there is a term for it. It's called, or there's several terms, but one is called objectophiles. So it means that people are.
Wow.
I don't know why that's funny.
It sounds like a good thing. Like, oh, I'm
It-
really objective, but it's not.
Yeah, I
objective.
mean, it sounds like you're.
Well, it's just hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's exactly what it sounds like. I'm
exactly.
sexually attracted to things.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's one. I mean, I mean, all power to him, I guess. But I've never gone to like say, national monument. Like, oh my god, this thing gets me so. Oh my god, I have to be with it. You know. So the first couple of stories I had, there was one person.
the Washington Monument, like,
Yeah.
really gets some big-
Exactly. So in 2007,
So big.
Oh man.
Erica Latour Eiffel. Any guesses of what she was attracted to?
the Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
She's married to the
She
Eiffel
married
Tower.
the Eiffel Tower in
Huh.
2007.
Oh, that's why it's Eiffel.
Does she get jealous
Huh.
of all those people who are climbing on?
Maybe,
Rubbing
but
on,
you
touching
know,
on.
she put a ring on it, so you know.
Where?
The other
Oh,
one
man.
that I thought, I mean, I didn't really have too much on that because they didn't go too much into it. But the other person is Aja Rita Berliner Maurer. Any guesses who she married?
Maurer?
Like a car or something?
So Aja Rita Berliner Maurer.
Berlin, the city of Berlin.
Was
She
it the
married-
Berlin Wall?
The wall?
Ding,
Oh,
ding,
the
ding!
wall.
Ryan got
Oh,
it.
she must be
The Berlin Wall.
really broken up
She
right now.
is 50. Well, funny you say that. She's 54 now, but she started liking when she first saw the Berlin Wall on TV, and so she started falling. She fell in love with it then, and so she started collecting his quote unquote his pictures, and would save up money to go. And by the time she on her 7th visit, she decided to marry the Berlin Wall in front of
that's fast,
a
girl.
small group of
7
people.
visits.
7 visits. She married.
You don't get married on the 7th date. That's crazy.
Yeah, her surname actually means Berlin Wall.
I mean, did she even meet the parents? The Great Wall and the fence on old man Johnson's house?
Well, she just went with what she felt. And she, when at the end of the Cold War, when the wall got torn down, she actually is quoted as saying that, she was sad because they left her husband mutilated. She was very sad that her husband, was just taken down. She did say that she did feel some attraction for the Great Wall of China, but, he's too thick. He's too thick. Her husband is sexier.
Okay, hold on. Did she really say that?
He's too thick?
Too thick. This is an actual quote. I find long, slim things with horizontal lines very sexy. So,
well, I mean, as long as you know what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so
there's a market for everybody.
Dude. By the way, I would have loved if she said like, "Nah, the Great Wall's too old for me." It's older than my father.
It's just too thick. It was too thick. So
That's. I was gonna say that's what she said, but that's literally what she said.
That's literally what she said. Yeah, exactly.
It's too thick.
Girth is not a problem for her. So
it is a problem.
It is a problem for her.
It is a problem. It is a problem. Sorry, yes, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Girth is the problem for her.
Wait, what is she gonna do now that he's got his physical?
Did she keep like
ailments?
parts?
I don't know, but I did see in one article that she does have.
Gross.
She still does have like models of the Berlin Wall, just to I guess, but I don't know if this is true or if this is just the author being sarcastic.
I guess. Hey. Good for you, girl.
I don't know if the author is being sarcastic with this line, but in 2008, it says that her affection was beginning to shift towards a nearby garden fence. So
next best thing.
I mean, listen. I mean, you trade up sometimes. It's a new fence.
Or trade down in this case.
Yeah, going from the Berlin Wall to a garden fence.
Guys, she settled.
Yeah,
but it's something.
You can't go from the Berlin Wall to a fence.
Guys, the fence is always around. It's there for you. It protects you. The Berlin Wall is so far away. It's a long distance relationship.
The fence is just that friend who's like.
It's
always
been
trying to get at her.
Like a friend zoned, and then they saw a chance, and they in the DMs.
The girl, I'm so sorry about the Berlin Wall. Like, I can't believe this happened. Like, I'm there for you. Whatever you need. Paint me.
Oh man.
Another thing that falls under objectophiles is this thing called mechanophilia, which means that you're
you want to bang cars.
Any vehicles, bikes, cars, planes. So there's one guy, Ed Smith, who has claimed to have had relationships with over 1,000 cars.
And we're talking relationships.
Relationships
wow.
in the biblical sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He is currently 63. He has had relationships with 1,000 sex partners. Only one of them have actually been human. So the other 999 have been cars.
By the way, for a second, I thought you were going to say only one of them was willing. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, also, he has had a relationship with a helicopter. He had a quickie with a copter that was used in a TV show called Airwolf.
Hang on.
Yes.
Are any of these vehicles like public transportation? Did he fuck a bus? Because people have to sit on that, and that's
I don't
not
think
cool,
so. I think it's just it's mainly been cars.
Hold on.
Personal vehicles he's owned.
The only way I can imagine him,
or is he like going around in the street just like to people's cars,
No,
parallel
I don't think
parks?
so. No, I think
I'm pretty sure though. No, he's owned more than 1,000 cars.
Yeah, you're telling me he's owned.
Maybe he rents a lot of cars.
That's the same.
Guys,
I rent cars.
Guys, hold on.
Listen, gross.
The way you imagined it might not be the way I imagined it, because when I imagined it, he's using some kind of a orifice on the car.
Yeah.
So why would people matter? People aren't going in the gas.
You don't know what he's putting his dick in. I mean, like, there's cup holders, there's fucking
I guess so.
little change cubbies, ashtrays. I don't know what he's working with.
I really just assumed he was going straight for the
gas tank. Or the tailpipe.
Tailpipe.
Oh,
he's from behind.
From behind, exactly.
From behind. I was imagining.
I didn't even think of the gas tank, but
I thought the gas tank.
I thought of the tailpipe.
I just thought
Listen,
of
you know
like
what,
the
though?
cushions or something.
Cushions. I can't imagine That's got to be bad for your car, just semen in your gas tank.
Well, I mean, also it's kind of bad for you getting all that gasoline on your dick.
Yeah. I'm like, how is that like?
His skin's all.
Does that not like burn?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it would just really burn like for a long time.
Noosh, you gotta go test it out.
Maybe that's
Take one for the team. And
I'll get you another glass of wine.
Me and my car aren't that close. We're friends though. We're good friends.
well. I guess a lot of people do this, but they name their cars. Do you guys have
of
names for
course.
your cars?
I
Yeah.
have.
God,
I've
yes.
had
Okay.
names for both my cars.
What's your name?
Ryan, you start, then I'll start with me. Go to me.
My first car
Bless
was
him.
rest in peace.
Yeah, bless him.
Zoidberg.
Yeah,
Dr. Zoidberg.
Dr. Zoidberg.
He had his
Okay.
degree.
Yeah. I mean, I had the privilege
Get
of because I mean,
educated.
you got rid of Zoidberg pretty soon after we met. So I mean, I only rode in that car like twice.
Yeah.
I think.
He was on his way out
Yeah.
already.
But to tell him how it happened, because it's a great story.
All right, so I bought this car from this like Japanese guy. It was his sister's car. It was like this white Acura Integra, and he's like dying right now.
I know.
Because I know how it ends.
I put thousands of dollars into it. I mean, my first job was
Yeah.
solely to like get money.
I mean, he
for
was
this
a
car.
young 19-year-old guy.
Not even
like,
19 yet.
Not even.
I got the car when I was like 15
Okay.
or 16. I had money from extracurricular things I was doing. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so I bought the car. I put like all this
Listen,
money
for
in
the
like
record,
rims.
Ryan was not blowing people in an alleyway. Okay,
I was selling drugs. I was selling drugs. Whatever. I was selling drugs. So I like did a paint job. I got like the taillights smoked. I got rims. I did all like this whole thing. I was actually sponsored. I used to do like sound system competitions, which people might not know is a thing, but
Yeah.
I got sponsored. I had like this custom built false floor thing. It was I put like
Nice.
thousands of dollars
Yeah.
into this car. Then I got broken into. Then I got broken into again. Then I got broken into again. It got to a point where I actually
Jeez.
put a sign in my window that said, "There's nothing left to steal. Please stop breaking my
oh
windows."
man.
So then they just stole the whole car.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I love that. There was nothing left to steal. All right, we'll just take the whole
Take the
thing.
car.
Yeah, actually, I like walked out of my apartment and my dad's apartment, and like I go to where I parked my car. I was going to work, and I was like, "Where's my car?" And there was a police officer there, like a cop
Yeah.
car, talking to
Yeah.
some neighbor, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I just like looked around, all confused, and I mean, it's a weird feeling,
Yeah.
not knowing where your
Dude,
car
where's
is.
my
So
car?
all I did is I just walked back in my house, like I didn't I didn't know what else to do. And then I came back out again, like, well, I mean, like, I'm not going to find it in here, obviously.
Yeah.
So I went back outside, and the cop, she, like, called me over, and she's like, hey, are you looking for your car? I was like, oh, man, yeah, how'd you know? And still, it hasn't, like, hit me that somebody stole it.
Yeah.
And she's like...
You're never ready for that. You're
Yeah,
never
she's
ready.
like, was it an Acura Integra? And I was like, oh, my God, yeah. She's like, well, I'm asking because someone left this one here. There's, like, another Integra there, a shitty one. And she's like, and what typically happens is, like, when they're driving around, they'll see one they like more, and so they'll just, like, ditch the one they're driving, and they'll take
Huh.
yours.
That
And
makes
this one was reported stolen. I'm assuming yours was stolen. I was like, oh, cool. Great. So months go by. I get another truck, which is a whole story in itself.
Yeah.
Which also had a name. Its name is JPEG.
Bless him.
He's currently
He's
getting surgery.
yeah.
Oh, that's your current one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I moved on. I grieved and I moved on. I got a new car. And months later, the police call me and they're just like, hey, we found your car. And I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, I don't want it anymore. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Like, well, it's $300 a day to keep it here, so come get it. So I go down there. They had found it on... this is his favorite part. They had found it on Mulholland Drive with a homeless person living in it.
Oh man.
He'd been living in there for a while.
Dude, it's been months. That
Yeah.
was his home.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. They stole really weird things out of it. Now, actually, you know what? Him being homeless, I kind of get what they stole. He stole the rear view mirror, so he has a mirror now.
Yeah.
They also stole... I had, like, custom gauges that I could, like, change the colors on, like the speedometer and stuff. They didn't take that. They took the glass in front of that for whatever reason. He left a bottle of cologne and some chicken nuggets in there. So I drove it back to my house, and I had it for
But
a
wait,
while.
didn't you tell him it smelled like shit, dude?
Well, yeah, it smelled like shit. It was... He lived in there. It was also his bathroom. And, it was...
No.
It was awful. I and it was equal parts. I feel like I've been raped sitting in this car again. Like, I don't know, it was weird. Like someone else has been in my car. I don't like it.
Yeah, dude, it's a weird feeling.
And then also it smelled like someone had really been in my car.
Man.
So I had it for a little while. Then my cousin needed a car, so I gave it to him. And he drove it literally till it died. Like, it exploded. He killed it. I don't know where he is. He's
R.I.P.
yeah. R.I.P.
So, I've had a few cars in my life. Many have had names. Most of them have been given names by other people.
Okay.
My very, very first car was a white Ford Bronco. It was the OJ car. It was the OJ car. And my friend decided
they were really chasing you.
it should have been named after like a Western type of a theme.
Yeah.
And so he told me, you should call it Tracy Morgan. And he said it's a sheriff in this movie. And I was like, all right. So I named it Tracy Morgan. But then a few months later, we found out the movie he's referencing, the character is called Swifty Morgan, and Tracy Morgan is
Tracy Morgan.
It's Tracy Morgan, the actor. Yeah. So I have a white Ford Bronco called Tracy Morgan.
Nice.
I've had some other cars whose names are not as interesting. I had a Kia, gold,
good old Grandpa Champagne Kia,
champagne-colored Kia Rio called the Fantastic Car, and my current car is a blue Honda Civic Hybrid called the Absolution.
That's the first one you named yourself.
I named it myself, yeah. And I mean, specifically, it's because the old Cartoon Network cartoon block of shows is called Toonami. The spaceship on that show is called the Absolution.
Okay.
Named after. I mean, my license plate says Toonami. So
Nice.
You're such a geek.
Yeah. So that's that car's been good to me. It's been really good.
Man.
I mean, I remember back when, because Ryan's car just got stolen, and I just got that car soon after. And when we were driving in it the first time, when I was giving you rides because you had no car, you were like, we were driving at night, and you're like, oh man, it's like I'm in a spaceship in here. I was like, yeah, that's why I call it the Absolution.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you.
Okay,
Kelly.
well, have you named your car?
Well, my current car is Anubis.
Anubis.
Yeah, it's black and bluish black, like the
What is
Egyptian
it?
god.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's an Acura TL, 2004.
Nice.
Tails are nice.
I named it myself, and that's the only car I've had. So
Yeah, that works.
yeah, I'm gonna drive it till it dies, hopefully.
That's how you.
Yeah,
That's
take
or
care of
until
it.
I get a good job, a better job.
Whichever comes first.
Yeah, whichever.
Well, back to Mr. Smith over here. So he is no longer just hopping around from car to car. He's
in a relationship.
committed himself to a Volkswagen Beetle named Vanilla that he purchased 30 years
what?
ago. Vanilla. It's a VW bug.
Oh, he likes curves.
Yeah. So this is a quote. When I hold Vanilla in my arms, there's a powerful energy that comes from her in response to that.
Jesus.
So
Christ.
that is hit. But he does still have flings every once in a while.
He cheats on Vanilla.
He does cheat on Vanilla with two. There's two that he goes with. A 73 Opel GT named Cinnamon. So
Aptly named. It's a stripper.
Yep, and a 93 Ford Ranger called Splash that he does have flings with every once in a while.
these names.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like stripper names. All three of them sound like stripper names.
Yeah. So there's probably two more we'll go with two more that I'll share with you guys.
Okay.
I think what I'll do is...
Are these the ones earlier you were telling me? You're like, how weird can I go with
I'm
this?
going to go...
And I was like, Courtney, please.
I mean,
Roll
Courtney's
the
kind of...
weirdest that
Yeah.
you possibly can.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with the really weird, and hopefully it won't bring down the tone, but we'll go with it. And then I'll end with a good one, I think. So this one is of a guy named Carl Tanzler, and he...
Oh, Carl.
He was a radiologist, and a patient came in. Her name was Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos. She came into a hospital in Florida in 1930, and she was being treated for tuberculosis.
1930.
1930.
Okay.
And so he just I guess automatically fell in love with her, and so he really wanted to help her.
He was also 1930. Like he was the one who did her. Okay.
Yeah, he was a radiologist.
I'm only asking because for a minute I thought he saw some woman's X-rays and he's just like, I gotta fucking
No.
go on.
So try to do different treatments to help her, like he really wanted. So he's doing all this while also trying to court her, and like he wanted to marry her while all this is going on. But unfortunately, in 1931, she died. She was 22 years old. Upon his insistence, her family put her in a mausoleum
Okay.
that he wanted. I think you see where this is going. Just the
Okay.
look on your face. So he regularly visited the mausoleum. In April 1933, he decided to break into it and he stole her corpse and took it back to his place.
Carl.
So over the next, let's see, the next 7 years, he
Oh
lived
my
with
God.
her body as if she was alive. What he did was, 'cause obviously
I mean, how do you even live with somebody as if they're alive? I mean, like Weekend and Bernie style, you know?
Yeah, no, pretty much because obviously the body is decomposing, so you're gonna
Right.
get smells and things
Yeah,
like that.
dude.
So he washed the body with disinfectants. He replaced the decayed flesh with gypsum plasta and wax covered in silk. He remade the limbs with wire. So it
Oh
was
my
like
God!
that.
So she was opposable.
Yep. He replaced her eyes with glass eyes, and then stuffed her body with rags to help keep the body keep shape. Okay, and so
And all the while, he was banging it.
yes, he was.
Oh man.
It wasn't. So he was found out. So the way he was found out was that shopkeepers noticed his constant purchasing of perfumes and lingerie and things like that, and eventually
That was the thing.
that's what
that was
tipped
the
that's
tip?
what tipped them off.
They're like,
and
what's up with this dude always buying
Yeah.
women's underwear?
exactly. And eventually, her sister came to visit, and she saw and so she called the police, and he got arrested and everything like that. But they didn't know that he was having biblical relations with her. That didn't come till later.
I love how you say biblical.
Yeah.
In the biblical
Well,
sense.
we'll keep it like that. So they didn't know about that. So he did get. I don't think he had any jail time, but so they did just let
They
it go.
really just were like, come on, Carl, come
Yeah,
on,
pretty
man.
much,
Just put her
pretty
back
much.
on the ground.
It
Like, let's
wasn't-
stop.
It wasn't until in the 70s, or no, in the 40s, later on, I forget how they worded it, but anyways, they were doing an autopsy and they saw that he had inserted a tube into her vagina so he could have sex with her. So yeah, and
They
then
did an autopsy on her.
yeah, I guess just to see, I don't know what the
They're
purpose
just like,
of it.
Carl, what did you do, man?
Yeah,
Let's
pretty
get in here and find out.
So he was so in love.
Dude, can you imagine the coroner like opening it up, finding rags,
Yeah, rags
in the chest cavity
and wires
stuff?
on the limbs.
What a
and-
weird autopsy that would have been.
Yeah.
And a tube.
It's basically like he's playing real life. What's that game? That
Operation.
Operation.
Yeah, but there's no like.
Only it's not funny.
Yeah, it's
Just gross.
weird. So I'll end this story because they can see I kind of did bring it
No,
down,
no,
maybe, or I don't know. But
fine.
anyways, he was so obsessed with her that when he got back home, he created a wax effigy of her, and he had like they called it a death mask, so that was on it. So basically, he created a doll of her, and he was found when he did die. He was found like still holding onto it. So he was obsessed with this chick. So.
Oh man, they need to make a movie about this shit, man.
I don't know if I'd want to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd want to watch it.
So, okay, so the last one, which I wish I could have found more information, but there just really isn't anything. But around 44 years ago, this man named Uli Hopper, and he's a German pop star by the name of Ramadama.
Dude, this guy. I mean, you don't even need to tell me the rest of this weird love thing he might have, but that Uli Hopper.
I'm also
going to-
pop star.
I'm like, he's Uli from.
He's Uli from Marvado.
Yeah.
Have we ever told the Uli's
We
milk?
haven't told any of
Oh my
Uli's
God.
milk or
Okay, hold on.
any
Do me a
stories about
favor.
him.
This is important. The very next episode, the way we're gonna open that episode
Uli's milk.
is with Uli's milk. We
Okay.
have to tell the Uli's milk story. You just listen for it, Cynthia.
Okay.
This is one of our favorite Ryan and Noosh stories.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good old days.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Well, Ramadama, he apparently has a very strong love for plants. And so
Oh, is it that guy?
It is this guy.
Sweet.
So he traveled to Gretna Green, which is on the Scottish border. This is just so weird. He traveled in a Jaguar covered in astroturf. So like,
Huh.
yeah,
What?
exactly. I don't
By
know.
the way,
I don't know.
still don't know what his obsession is, what his thing is, but this guy's got a lot of he's got false flags everywhere. Like, he's got
Yeah,
some
a lot
flags.
of red flags.
Yeah.
So so he did that. He bought
Ramadama. Let me
Ramadama.
cover my car in
He
AstroTurf.
stopped at a fruit vendor and he purchased a pineapple for about £8.
That poor pineapple.
And he
You don't even
went
know.
to Gretna Green, where he married the pineapple.
Yeah, I knew those.
With
There's pictures of him.
there's pictures
with
of him.
his
You can see a picture. That
pineapple
might be his
wife.
his wedding picture.
I see it.
His wedding
So,
picture.
Seems happy.
I know it could be.
Yeah.
And the name of the pineapple is Tippy. And the person that married them, he was wearing a kilt and everything. And then they went back home to Munich, where he lives. And he explained their relationship. So they would go out on dates. Tippy's favorite thing to do was to watch movies, especially earthquake movies, where when she got scared, she would jump into his lap.
I mean, listen.
Dude.
Hold on. Because of the fact that a lot of this stuff is in the person's. I mean, objectophilia is a mental
Yeah, right.
state.
They're
I
putting
mean,
their own.
in their mind. Maybe they really don't just see a pineapple. They see like like something that
That's
you can.
something he he
communicate
had
with.
feelings for.
Yeah.
They would go out to
And put
dinner.
your penis in.
I mean, the things
Or
you have
rub
feelings
against.
for are often things you put your
Well, wouldn't
penis
a
in.
pineapple-
I mean,
I'm
rub.
joking,
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say
not-
rub against the
A
pineapples.
pineapple.
Jesus.
I
Well,
can't.
I mean, I don't think you could put it in there without destroying.
Well,
the
you gotta,
thing.
you gotta like use a tool or something.
Yeah, you
to,
gotta
like,
core out the
pour out-
core out the middle or something.
I mean, you know what? By the way, remember that? What's that weird thing that? What is that thing that women are always saying? You know what?
What?
Maybe I'm talking to the wrong
Dude,
women.
Cynthia's face. She's like,
It's that thing.
what
about
are women
pineapple.
always saying, bro?
It's that thing that women are always saying about pineapple and men who eat pineapple.
You're talking
Oh,
about
it's supposed
how
to
it
like
makes
their
semen
cum?
taste better?
Yeah.
Basically, this guy doesn't have to worry about that. Like it's always gonna be pineapple.
I don't
all
think-
the time.
yeah.
I don't think fucking a pineapple makes your cum taste any different.
No, I'm
though.
saying it won't matter though
Oh,
because
'cause
she
she
is
is
a
already- She is
pineapple.
a pineapple.
Or to any people who are
Yeah, 'cause he's-
objectophiles.
It's true. They're never
Yeah.
putting their
Yeah.
penis in any other
Yeah.
human's mouth.
From what I can
So-
see, most of these people haven't really had relationships that are human. Because, like, the first chick I talked about, the one for the Berlin Wall, according to the article, she still remains a virgin, even though she says that she's had a full, loving relationship with the Berlin Wall.
Well, I guess that
know.
depends on what your definition of virginity is.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she probably fucked the shit out of the wall, but that doesn't. That doesn't mean she.
Like if your definition of virginity, losing your virginity, is penetration of a penis into a
Yeah.
vagina, then obviously
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it's all objective.
and if it's
Yeah.
like not a penis and it's limestone,
then
does it
I
still
mean,
count?
You should probably go see the doctor. 'Cause Lyme could actually give you like
That's true.
an illness.
pH
So,
unbalanced,
Yeah.
yeast
So-
infection. Nope.
huh.
Got an STD from a wall.
Dude, that
I
That-
can imagine
it's a
what you
weird
pick up from the
possibility,
wall. I
dude.
mean,
No, I know people
Yeah.
spitting and peeing on it. And,
yeah.
yeah. Well, to round out with this, so unfortunately, Tippy is no longer around, but he still loves plants. So he has a plant sanctuary in Germany, and it has around 300 plants.
Please tell me it's like the Tippy Sanctuary for all plants.
I couldn't find anything on this guy. Like, I even wanted to know, like, what were some of his songs? Like, I found one YouTube clip where they just uploaded a song, and it was pretty weird. I was almost going to
It's
suggest
pretty weird.
we should have that as the end song, but I don't know if we could. But I did come across, so he has a Twitter.
Oh,
and,
God.
and Tippy has a Twitter, so if you would like to follow Tippy, she can be found at Mrs. Ramadama. So you can,
Okay.
follow her on Twitter.
That's a really cute name.
Yeah.
Tippy.
So
Tippy the pineapple.
Tippy Ramadama is her name.
Tippy Ramadama.
Tippy Ramadama.
Lily and Tippy Ramadama. They should go
Yeah.
on tour.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't there also? I mean, I know there's a lot of people who like marry
Dolls.
dolls and then like pillows and
There's
video
one
game
on here. Somebody
characters.
married a pillow. Yeah.
I mean, on the list.
Was
you-
it a sex pillow or was it just a regular old pillow? Because
It
that would
was,
be hilarious to me.
um,
Just you've always been there for me.
What do
You're
you
always
guys?
so
what do you
cool on
guys
the
think
It
other
was
about
side.
that?
it was a
though?
pillow with the anime character Fate Testa
there we go.
Rossa on
Oh
the
my
pillow.
gosh.
You know
the
who that
life-size
is?
Dude, I
image.
do know who that
I don't
is.
know, yeah.
Dude, I do know. But here's a crazy, creepy thing about that. Fate Testarossa is like 10 years old, 11 years
Oh,
old. She's an
Oh,
11-year-old
what the
anime character. Like, she's a
Yeah.
kid.
This guy was from South Korea. It was his quote unquote girlfriend for 6
Yeah.
years before he married the pillow.
Weird.
Yeah. So there was actually, it was interesting. There was another one. If we had, I mean, I could go into it if you wanted to, but where they were marrying video game characters. And there was actually a movement in 2008. Somebody in Japan put on a petition to legalize marriages between humans and 2D characters, and it gained over 1,000 signatures within a week.
I think based on a link you sent me one time, like there was like a guy who married like a Nintendo DS video game.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have this one. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
Man, I don't really care. I don't like to judge. You marry whoever the hell you want, as long as you as long as you stay away from little kids.
yeah.
Or animals.
I mean, yeah, if it can give consent
if it's harmless.
and it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the whole consent thing.
Yeah, I mean, a wall can't give
the wall
consent.
can't give.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
it's not like a
It's not a sentient being.
living being.
But it's not
so-
hurting anyone else.
Right.
I mean,
What
so
about
that's
Tippy?
your own-
Tippy was alive. Oh no, Tippy
Well,
was dead.
no, Tippy.
Tippy was a plucked
Tippy-
fruit, so
yeah,
Tippy
I mean,
was not
well,
alive.
Fruit are not alive. Fruit are basically just the attractive
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that the plant uses. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, by the way, let me say something. Okay, the fact that this is the topic of romance, and I'm going into something a little bit weird.
Yeah,
also,
it's
Dude,
not. It's
the
not.
fact that
we're
we're
not talking
doing-
about human romance at
dude,
all.
we are not. Dude,
It says a lot about our
it
show.
I was
says
gonna
a
say,
lo-
what does that say about us?
Dude, it says a lot about us that for the topic of romance, we picked some pretty effed up stuff, man. Like,
I mean, we could have talked about some more personal things, but instead
What
we went
fun
with
would that be?
we went with pineapples and
Pineapples under the sea. No.
probably one of my favorite stories in all of history.
I mean, this is story.
This is one of my favorite things that's ever happened in the history of mankind.
I mean, I'll
ever.
say this: when this became a thing, okay, a long time ago, before we had a podcast, whatever, my friend Cody was recommending podcasts to me, and he said, "Hey, you should check out this podcast called The Dollop." And he specifically recommended this episode that talked about this topic I'm going to go into.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and I was dying. I was dying. I recommended it
he
to
showed
Ryan.
it to me, yeah.
Actually, I think we listened to it together,
did.
and we were just like, we could not.
And I
take it.
cried.
Yeah, it
I
was,
wept.
yeah, it was ridiculous, dude. And so that kind of is this story and the podcast that talked about it is kind of the spiritual.
That's where we
Inspiration.
that's
Yeah.
where we kind of got our ideas
For this show.
For the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
So actually, this story so much so was so like
yeah. This is the first
such a
one.
big thing
Yeah.
that I've considered talking. Like I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think for the drugs episode, I
Yeah.
considered doing it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, no, we gotta like have all this time. I actually was like, I'm not gonna talk about anything. Like we're doing this one. This
Yeah.
has to be. Yeah,
This is a long story. So okay,
it is, but it's a great story.
one day I hope we can do a real. I mean, if you guys think of like a funny, like romance related, I have got nothing though. But if you guys ever think of something, we can add.
We'll
that in.
do sex as a show or dating
Yeah.
as a show, whatever.
Okay, so here we go. I
right.
want to first say this. This is a story about. By the way, some of the information I got was from the old podcast we listened to, but I found new information from other sources.
Alright.
So there's stuff that's new in terms of our show. So
I wonder if I found it also when I was looking it up.
So okay,
We'll see.
this is a story of love and obsession that eventually leads to suicide. Okay. This whole story was unearthed due to a 2014 documentary. As a result of the documentary, a bunch of news, press covered it, and then the Dollop, which is the podcast that I heard about, Ryan heard
Yeah.
about, that they covered it also. So first, we're going to talk about Dr. John C. Lilly. By the way, this story takes place in the 1960s, 1970s. That's a time frame.
Yeah.
But talking about
drugs.
exactly. So Dr. John C. Lilly. Originally, he was a physics major, but he read the dystopian novel called Brave New World and was inspired to change focus to neuroscience. By the way, Brave New World talks about drugs as a human control method.
Yep.
And that's the inspiration he was really interested in.
Yeah.
So in 1938, he graduated from the California Institute of Technology with a degree in biology and physics, so double major.
Yeah.
Like hardcore double major.
Yeah, really hardcore
Yeah.
double major.
1942, graduated with a medical degree from the University of Pennsylvania. I'm trying to give you an idea of who this guy is. Okay,
Yeah.
so during his time there, he enrolled in a class called How to Build an Atomic Bomb.
By the way, guys, this dude is smart as shit. Like he's got
Yeah.
his shit together. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
he's got
Yeah.
all this, a lot of education behind him here. Like,
By the way,
lot.
the government investigated that class as a possible national security risk at one point. Like, it was actually about that. So, okay. he's a researcher into the brain and the consciousness. Like that's what his research is into, and actually, especially his research is into intelligent mammals like dolphins. Basically, this is important to know. I mean, I want you to know the good things about him too.
Yeah.
He's the guy who basically proved that dolphins are emotionally and cognitively equal to humans. Because before they didn't think of dolphins like that or other mammals like that.
It was always just people and then everything else.
Yeah, but he proved that dolphins were cognitively and emotionally like us.
And more so that other creatures are capable of,
exactly.
of thought and emotion.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, he has an autobiography called The Scientist. And in this autobiography, it begins with the creation of the universe from cosmic dust. And only much later in the novel does his own human story begin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's like, to know about me, you got to know about the universe.
So, okay, so we're going to talk about some altered states here. So in 1953, the U.S. Public Health Service Public Health Service Commission hired him for their neuroscience division, and also he was a chair at the National Institute of Mental Health. Okay?
So, got all this education.
Yeah.
He works for the government. He's legit.
Yeah, dude.
Legit.
Chime in with every addition you have.
Yeah.
If I forget anything, just add in. So, okay. So, here's the advances in neuroscience that he's made. He invented a prototype ECG, a device that is used to analyze the brainwaves of animals that are anesthetized. Okay? By the way, back in those days, there was no like ECG that we know ECG. The way you do an ECG, like a brainwave scan, basically, is you have to drill into the brain and actually put prongs in there. So usually you have to anesthetize people and animals in order to do that. But he created a device where you don't have to anesthetize them. Yeah. They can be awake, I guess, which is, I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd want that, I guess. I don't know. But it does use needles to drill into the skull. Like, that's the thing. He also invented a device to study brains by stimulating pleasure and pain with electricity, like the pleasure and pain center. So he invented that also. And his most infamous creation is he invented the isolation tank. So we should
sensory deprivation tank.
Why don't you
becoming popular right now.
Explain what it is, Ryan.
There's a lot of like athletes and other people, and I would be so down to try one. But basically,
I think we should try it. And
we should.
Go do it as a show.
Like, no.
I will be supervising you guys and make sure you don't die.
I mean, we do need spotters. Isolation tanks, you need a spotter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now when you go to do it, there's it's a whole thing. But so what it is you go in this tank, and there's the whole point of it is to have no physical stimulation at all. So you're sitting in salt water that is just human like body temperature. Yeah. There's just enough salt to keep you mostly buoyant, like half buoyant, half submerged. It's completely dark. There's no sound. You can't see anything. You can't hear anything. Eventually, you don't feel the water. You don't feel anything. So there's nothing.
And usually you have like a breathing apparatus to like...
Whoever's seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Yeah.
Joe Rogan swears by them, by the way.
Okay.
So the whole point of this is when you have no like physical stimulation from the outside world, you know, everything is in your brain. Like, so people hallucinate, people have like these enlightening, you know, experiences and stuff. Yeah. And so that's what the point of them is. Yeah. And he was the first person.
I will find a Groupon and we should go.
I mean, I would do it. I'd do it.
Yeah. Okay, so many scientists at that time believed that prolonged exposure to sensory deprivation would shut off the brain. I mean, at the time, the thinking was if your brain has no stimulus, then your brain shuts off. Like, not dead, but just asleep. Like, you would just shut off. So the Dr. Lilly, he believed that consciousness was disconnected to the brain. He believed that basically in the mind-body gap, that our consciousness does not exist in our brain. It exists somewhere else. He believed that isolation tanks would allow humans... He believed that isolation tanks would allow human beings to travel to other dimensions and realms. In his book, The Center of the Cyclone, published in 1972, he talks about his time in isolation tanks, and he said, quote, I traveled among cells as they functioned, and through my brain and its neurons. I moved into smaller and smaller dimensions, down to the quantum levels, and watched the play of atoms in their own vast universes, their wide, empty spaces, and their fantastic forces involved in each of the distant nuclei with their orbital clouds of force field electrons.
Homeboy was tripping.
He
balls.
sounds high as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, on that topic, in the 1960s, as you know, scientists were experimenting a lot with drugs.
A lot.
A lot. I mean, especially LSD. This was the era of
This was also when
George Hunter White. This is the era of George Hunter White.
I
And
covered this in the drugs
yeah,
episode.
in the drugs episode, Ryan talked about the CIA and
The
their,
CIA was
it
like
Operation
Midnight Climax.
Operation Midnight Climax.
They ran a brothel, more than one brothel. They were also like dosing each other with
Dude.
Unknowingly.
If you don't,
Yeah,
if
just
you
listen
don't
to the
know-
episode,
listen to the
but-
episode. Go back and listen to our drugs episode. Okay, so as a part of his research, Lily began taking massive doses of LSD inside the isolation
Oh
tank.
God.
Oh my God, no.
By
He
the-
did a lot
A
of
lot
drugs.
of drugs. This is all paid for by the government, and he
was
did
funded.
this. Yeah, it was fun, and he wanted to expand his consciousness. He thought he can do that by taking drugs inside the isolation tank. So his partner, Dr. Craig Enright, and Lily later began taking ketamine. They've been taking a lot of ketamine, which
is a
referred
horse
to,
tranquilizer.
Which is it's an
yeah.
anesthetic but also it makes you hallucinate. And he refers to it at that time as vitamin K. And as a part of these experiments. So, by the way, the doses that they were taking, like when you actually quantify it now, it was large enough to kill an elephant.
Oh my God.
Like they were taking some.
Dude, these guys got fucked.
Seriously. Oh my goodness.
So, before one experiment, Enright, the partner, he hypnotically programs himself to regress into a pre-hominid state. So, caveman, ape man type state, right?
Yep.
He mentally suggests that to himself. He then takes the ketamine and he goes into the isolation tank. Once released from the tank, Enright begins to behave like an ape man, crouching, howling, shaking his hand, behaving like an animal. In his mind, Enright later says that he thought he was fighting a leopard.
Climbing on the stuff.
He thought he was climbing up a tree, but he was climbing up like a shelf. And like the whole time, John Lilly's like just taking notes, like, "Oh, this is fascinating. This is just interesting stuff here."
He's become another. Yeah, it's.
This actually became the
Real
inspiration for a
responsible.
movie. This was actually the inspiration for a movie called Altered States with John Hurt. Anyway, so this experiment, though, apparently scientifically proved that a person's internal reality can differ from the external reality,
Yeah.
and also that a person can function externally while unaware internally, like their body's doing stuff and they don't even know what's going on.
So in
Or-
layman's terms,
Disconnect.
it scientifically proves
Yeah.
that you can get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you can be really
You're
high.
in outer space
You
where
can
your
be
body's
really high
on
yeah.
Earth, yeah. And also the last thing is you can be completely unaware of these two states.
Yeah.
Of
So I mean,
existence.
that also I would assume kind of prove like sleepwalking. and
Sleepwalking,
stuff.
yeah.
Sleepwalking, yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
Sleep talking or whatever.
Yeah. Well, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that sleep
Stuff.
stuff.
So sometime after this, Lily has a near-death experience. Lily took a massive dose of ketamine, as he always
Why
does,
not?
but that's what he does.
Take it before bed.
Well, I mean, it's kind of what he,
Yeah, he did.
That's
He
about-
did that also.
So he took his ketamine, and he went to the isolation tank.
Took his vitamin K. Also, guys, remember when I explained what the isolation tank is? You're in
yeah.
water,
I mean,
and he just took elephant's dose of horse tranquilizer. Smart move.
his limbs stopped functioning inside the tank, and he began to drown.
What?
Because he couldn't get out of it. He just
Yeah.
started to drown. His wife saved him, and there's a whole... Listen, I want you to know this. This whole thing has, like, a massive story behind it. I'm skipping over it because it's just too long, and we just don't have time for it. But it's crazy, dude. You should read about this guy's life. So anyway,
Is that the thing that
Yeah.
we
We
both
deci-
decided not
yeah,
because it's not? Yeah.
Yeah. But his...
Real quick, he thinks aliens stole his penis.
He's
That's a thing that
he's
happens.
gonna right after
It
this.
happens, yeah.
Right after this, he's gonna think aliens stole his penis. But we'll get to that. But anyway,
We'll
his
save
wife
that for another.
his wife saved him. Okay, his wife saved his life, and he began to believe that a higher power was watching over him and protecting him. Hence, The aliens. Yeah, I mean, not God. Aliens.
Who took his penis.
He believed that aliens were protecting
He's a man
him.
of science.
He's a man of science. Yeah. He calls the aliens ECHO, which stands for Earth Coincidence Control Office. By the way, ECHO works for an organization called SCCO, which is Solar System Control Office, which works for another organization called GCO, which is Galactic Control
Sounds
Office.
like a Kurt Vonnegut novel.
By the way, it kind of, yeah, dude, it does. By the way, though, I mean, the fact that he thinks that the aliens are going to speak English and use English bureaucratic
they have their own
abbreviations. Yeah.
bureaucratic abbreviations. And
So at this time, this is where we start talking about dolphins. By the way, I hope everybody's thinking like, dude, what the fuck does this have to do with romance?
oh, it's
Like,
getting there.
It's getting there.
It gets real romantic.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about dolphins now, okay? So Lily continued to
By
experiment.
the way, he's still getting paid by the government.
yeah, this is all government
this.
paid
I love that
stuff.
this is all on the government
yeah,
dime.
yeah,
Yeah.
By the way,
Our,
really,
well, not our taxpayer money because we weren't alive
weren't
yet.
alive
But
yet.
your parents'
Our
taxpayers.
grandparents,
Your parents'
parents.
tax dollars.
I
hard
really
at work.
wish, by the way, that John Lilly and George Hunter White could have met each other. Like they would have been like really good friends.
Yeah.
They would have been dosing each other. Okay, so
Party games.
Lily continued to experiment with drugs and the isolation tank, and this is the part where it leads to the incident where his dick was stolen by aliens, which is another story. One day, though, Lily decides to start experimenting on dolphins, and this is his exact quote about why. One day, while I was floating in the tank at the National Institute of Mental Health,
Ryan
I thought
can't contain himself.
At
I-
the National Institute of one of my
His
favorite
job.
things about this story is that his job is to just get fucked up at work.
yeah.
He's just getting high at work.
So he's at the National Institute of Mental Health, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be great to do this 24 hours a day? When I mentioned it to a friend, he said, well, try the dolphins. So that's how I started to work with dolphins.
Dolphins.
The next logical step.
Dude, he's high at work, and he's like, wouldn't it be great to be high all the time?
always.
And then some random...
And someone's answer to that is, have you tried the dolphins?
Dude, everybody's high at the National Mental Health Institute.
Dude, everyone was high in the government in the 60s. Just, oh man. Try the dolphins.
Try the dolphins.
Hashtag try the dolphins.
Hashtag try the
Hashtag try the
dolphins.
dolphins.
I mean, he says it almost like, have you tried the fish? It's so good.
Yeah, right?
It's so delicious. It's wonderful. So he believed that dolphins, this is a time where he made some really like big progress in dolphins. He believed that dolphins were complex, intelligent creatures equal to humans and had a language of their own. He believes that intelligence was a function of absolute brain size, and technically whales are the most intelligent creatures in the world. And the only reason we don't know that and we believe we're the most intelligent is because we can't communicate with them. But they're the most intelligent. So he believes also that dolphins possessed a form of telepathy that would allow humans to communicate with aliens.
Of course.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got all this like semi-regular, like intelligent. Dolphins are intelligent. Their brain size is similar to ours.
Yeah.
They probably also they can communicate.
You know
to
who this guy
aliens.
is, guys? He's basically like a really smart, really high version of me. Because basically I'm the guy who's like, my friend wants me to go with him on like a trip, and I'm like, he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah,
I jumped to that
jumping to
conclusion.
conclusions.
So he's just like, oh, dolphins are intelligent. We can talk to aliens.
He's just like getting high to become you,
Yeah.
kind of.
Keep up, Lily, because I do this on like while I'm sober. So okay, he also believes dolphins can teach humans how to float in space, like outer space,
Yeah.
Okay.
and he believes.
Real. He's got some.
Scientific.
He's making some wild jumps there.
And the thing is, everybody believes him because, like, well, I mean, he's got like 3
Look at
degrees.
all of his
Look at all of his degrees. He's a
Look
he's
at
a
his government
doctor, He's a
paycheck.
doctor. He's a physicist and he's a neurologist. I mean, come on.
And a biologist.
And a biologist.
A marine biologist
Yeah.
now.
He also believes that dolphins can be scouts for the Navy, like military scouts. So, as a result of these beliefs,
And the government heard military scouts
Military?
have some fucking money.
both NASA and the U.S. Navy gave him massive grants to study dolphins, like a lot of money. And with that money, listen, they gave him enough money to do this next thing, which is he built DPL, Dolphin Point Laboratory, on the island of St. Thomas in the Caribbean, like a massive laboratory facility
Yeah.
to study dolphins, to talk to
Yeah.
aliens.
And to learn how to float in space.
To learn how to float.
man.
Okay, so
Also, can't you just float? Isn't floating in space the easiest place to float?
Because it was
You just don't do anything. I mean, don't hold on.
A part of
Done.
me wants to believe maybe they haven't gone to space yet, but they have because they've said,
moon, yeah.
I mean, before the moon, Yuri Gagarin.
Yeah, you got all kinds of people just going up and coming back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So at this time, he begins experimenting on dolphins by giving them LSD.
Also,
Poor dolphins.
yeah, here's the thing. I mean, that's shitty because one, he believes that they're intelligent, and he's just giving. They don't understand what
exactly.
drugs are, and he's just
Exactly.
like, now you're high.
I mean that's the logic, right? I mean, like if you spike somebody or you like get somebody high,
Yeah.
you can tell them, listen, man, you're just tripping, you're fine, you're gonna be okay. You can't
Listen,
say that to
yeah,
a dolphin, like.
Yeah.
One, you can't tell them, and two, LSD is not a thing to give someone when they don't know. Like, that's the scariest fucking thing to just have happening to you. Like,
I read a story not too long ago where these, I don't know why, but it's like, what? Okay, but they got spiders drunk to see what effect that would have on their web spinning skills.
And
They're interesting webs. Like, it's just like, but like, why would you have that thought of, oh, let's get a spider drunk and see what happens? Let's give a dolphin LSD and see what happens. I mean, yeah.
so what he would do is this: he would dose them, and then he would place them on dry land to see how they react.
how do you think a dolphin reacts in dry land sober?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, it was basically a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety, a lot of
Yeah.
stress.
I mean, can you imagine not knowing that someone gave you LSD and they just throw you in the ocean?
I mean, the idea is basically give Ryan LSD and start drowning him and see what happens. Put them in confining tanks with other dolphins where there's not enough room to swim. Put dolphins in shallow water.
He's basically just torturing dolphins.
Yeah.
This isn't funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. He's just torturing dolphins while they're high.
Put dolphins in absolute isolation from other dolphins. So he's like, all right, let's throw them in the isolation tanks now.
This guy.
He's not a good dude.
No.
As a result, the dolphins were in extreme distress and anxiety. Again, just remember he did prove some good things about dolphins, but everything that
all
led
of
up to
this,
it,
all of this led to, oh man,
Yeah.
they feel pain. That sucks.
yeah.
Noted.
No,
They don't like being on land. They don't like tiny spaces. They don't like LSD.
there was a 2-year-old dolphin who had PTSD, basically. It was shot by a spear gun by a human, and so it was terrified of humans. Whenever humans would approach it inside of a tank, it would swim away. It was terrified.
Yeah.
So he gave it LSD, as he does, and it swam at that time. It did something it didn't do before. And he's just jotting down notes the whole time.
Also, he's probably high.
He's probably high, too. The dolphin swam up to him. It turned on its side, and then it just started staring at him unblinkingly for 10 minutes. It just stared at him for 10 minutes. And he's just like, oh, this is fascinating. This is just interesting.
It's learned to love me.
I mean, basically, the dolphin was super high.
The dolphin was just out of its
it was tripping.
mind. Yeah.
Okay.
I love how his first conclusion was like some emotional, like some weird connection. It wanted to be forgiven or whatever. And it wasn't, this dolphin's fucked up. Like, that's why isn't that your logical
It
conclusion?
was on its side, man. When do dolphins do that?
When they're on LSD.
So this is the part of the story that the documentary gets
Okay.
into, okay? So it's called The Woman Who Talked with Dolphins.
It's my favorite
It's
part
the
of the
best
story.
part of the story. So John Lilly realized LSD wasn't getting to dolphins to talk.
Huh.
Yeah.
No way.
Lilly believed, though, that being in a tank with dolphins will get them to talk to you. And he believes that the best environment for human-dolphin relations is 18 to 24 inches of water.
Okay.
2 feet. He believes 2 feet is
Because
the...
they're swimming and he's standing.
Dude, how do you even come up with these numbers? Just 2 feet's the maximum point of dolphin-human interaction. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
his new plan was to get a woman to live with a dolphin for a few weeks.
I do know this story. I read an article.
Okay.
A while
okay,
ago.
good. So he believed that a human and a dolphin could only live together for 10 weeks at most. That's the maximum amount of time they can spend together.
Also, I don't know where he's getting these
Yeah.
numbers either.
He recruited a research assistant named Margaret Howe, age 23, to participate in the experiment.
She's just trying to get that resume.
She's
filled
just trying,
up.
dude. She's just trying to get that, get that grad,
Dude, and you know what's funny? She
recommendation
was so excited.
Yeah.
John C. Lilly. Oh
Yeah.
my God!
He's a
I'm gonna
genius.
intern with a freaking
Yeah.
doctor, marine biologist, neurologist.
She's telling her mom, "I got a job at DPL."
Yeah, she is stoked.
He obtained also a dolphin named Peter to participate. And so what he did for this experiment is he flooded a villa at the laboratory so Howe and a dolphin can live together. Basically, he flooded a townhouse so a dolphin and a person can live together.
Fully furnished.
Yeah, fully
By
furnished.
the way.
A fully furnished
She's
townhouse.
got tables. She's
Yeah.
got a sink.
Yeah. Howe would spend 24/7 with Peter for 10 weeks. She would cook and sleep in the wet conditions.
Pee.
Pee.
Shit.
Her bed was suspended from a ceiling with a shower curtain around it to reduce Peter's splashing.
That was thoughtful.
The apartment was only 2 feet deep in water, though. So basically, no one was comfortable. It was too shallow for the dolphin and too wet for the human.
Yeah.
Nobody was happy.
Nobody's happy in 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
The research goals were 1. Make notes on interspecies isolation. 2. Attempt to teach Peter the dolphin to speak. 3. Gather information so living conditions can be improved for longer dolphin cohabitation in the future. They're like, we gotta break this 10-week barrier.
Yeah. I'm glad that one of his goals was, I want someone to be able to live with a dolphin.
Yeah.
For like a full lease term. Like
I
just-
There will be a dolphin in every house.
Well, I mean, every apartment comes with a dolphin.
Exactly.
oh, this is my roommate Peter.
So, the experiment begins. Week 1 through 2. Peter spends most of his time in front of a mirror. He's just staring at a mirror the whole time.
Probably just thinking, where the fuck am I? How do I get out of here?
He just wants to see another dolphin. He's just like,
Yeah.
I really miss people like me. Howe claims, she claims, that she taught Peter to pronounce the words ball and diamond.
Which, no, you didn't. You're
yeah.
just trying to get your...
She's trying to get that letter of recommendation
Yeah, she
real
just
bad.
wants
Yeah.
a letter of recommendation.
She painted her face in thick white makeup and then used black lipstick on her lips. That way she can, like, mouth the words ball, diamond. Like that. Like, basically.
Which is funny because dolphins don't have fucking lips.
Yeah.
So he can't ball. He can just
Yeah.
open and close his mouth.
Yeah.
That's all he can do.
But she thought that if she did that, he'd be able to
He could
say the words.
Yeah, he would grow lips
Yeah.
and speak.
So week 3, Peter and Howe's relationship began to sour. Peter began to whine. He made loud noises at night. Howe started to become depressed. Week 5. So just
Living
imagine,
in water might do that
dude,
for you.
Dude,
Yeah,
imagine
with the dolphin.
5 weeks. They've been doing this for like a month and
24/7.
Yeah.
Does she
In
have
water.
like rain boots on or something?
She does have clothes. She has boots. Yeah.
'Cause, like,
She has like a
Damn.
wetsuit and
Yeah, she has a wetsuit too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So week 5.
I mean, still uncomfortable.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're still wet all the time. Like you're never dry.
2 feet's what? Like,
Yeah, it's like a little bit above the thigh.
yeah, it's like almost. It's like it's your crotch,
Yeah.
which that's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
So week 5, Peter. Dude, week 5.
Fucking Peter.
Week 5, Peter begins to have erections frequently when Howe played with him.
It's been a long time.
It's
for
been
him,
a
okay?
long time
Oh man.
for both of them.
Yeah.
It's been 5
Also,
weeks.
hold on. Wasn't he like really aggressive as well?
Well,
Like, he
not
was
yet.
getting...
Not yet.
Okay.
At this time, Peter.
She just took a note. He's got
I
a
mean,
boner.
They're doing the exercises. She's playing with him, and she's just like, "Oh man, he's really getting hard, like a lot." And remember this, dude. I mean, we don't really get to see dolphin boners too much on TV,
Yeah.
but dolphin boners are big, dude. They're big. Yeah, dude. I mean, you don't see that in whales and dolphins, but when they're
I never
hard-
seen any kind of fish boner.
Actually,
Yeah.
it was a podcast I heard, and I'm like, this can't be real, but that's where sea monsters kind of originated. You know, on old maps.
Dolphin boner.
No, whales, because
Oh.
I
can see that.
Wait,
but
wait, you're
because
telling me
their
that people
penises
used-
were so big back then, they didn't know what it was. That's where
People
sea
used
monsters
to see
were.
a dolphin or a whale
Whales-
dick come out of the
yes.
water and they're
I
like,
didn't thought it was a sea mon- it's a sea monster.
Dude,
Yes.
it's just his morning glory. And then
Google
he's sleeping.
Google it. I did after I listened to the pod. I'm like, no way. I'm like, holy
blue
shit.
whales are just like, check out my morning
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah.
And people are,
That's
freaking out.
that's the origination of sea
oh, man.
monsters.
That
Wow.
is freaking hilarious.
Okay, So
I'm Googling
Google
dolphin
it.
boners.
You're gonna look up a
hey,
dolphin
remember
bone right
this.
now.
Remember this about dolphins. Also, dolphins are basically the sexual predators of the sea. Like,
They rape a lot of
they
things.
Rape,
Oh,
they
yeah.
rape dolphins, and they've raped, like, tried to rape people before. Like, they are not. They're okay with just fucking things. Like, that's all they
Yeah.
want to do. So erections started happening week 5. Week 6. Peter begins to get abusive with Hal. This is when he
Yeah.
starts getting aggressive. He would ram her with his beak. He would bite
Cynthia's
her
making
legs.
a face like she just looked at a dolphin dick.
I did.
Unsolicited.
No,
Unsolicited.
she looked it up herself
That's
though.
true.
But
He would ram her with his beak. He would bite her legs.
yeah, he was getting real
He was
mad.
getting real mad. But here's the thing: Howe did not want to terminate the experiment, so she endured.
She got to get that letter of
Dude,
recommendation.
she is trying to get to grad school, man. Whatever it takes. So week 7.
I mean, also remember this. This is a dolphin, big ass fish,
Yeah.
mammal, whatever. Just like smashing his face into
Yeah,
her
dude.
and like biting
Dude,
her. Like that's scary.
they're
Like I wouldn't want to
400
live in
pounds.
a.
They
I wouldn't
weigh
want to
400
live
pounds,
in an
dude.
apartment with a 400-pound wild
Yeah.
animal who's got a boner all the time.
Yeah. I mean, and that
What? Would you want to live in?
400-pound animal who has a boner all the time. Hell no, I don't think any kind of
Yeah.
dolphin or not.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would not want to.
I was also that beak though is like the main weapon of
Yeah.
dolphins. So that's like
Yeah.
a rarely like it's a
It's
weapon.
getting bruised up,
Yeah. So week 7.
hitting her in the shins all the
This
time.
is the good stuff. So week 7, how? I mean, imagine this. It's been 7 weeks. She's been getting abused, dealing with
She
dolphin
is
boners.
at the end of her rope.
She is
right
at the
now.
end of her
She
rope.
doesn't know what to do. All she knows is she doesn't want to quit because she can't get
Yeah.
that grad school.
And she's really tired of this dolphin abusing her.
Yeah.
So eventually she loses her mind and she snaps and she gives Peter a hand job. Yeah.
She just jerks
She
him right
just
off
she's like, all right,
to completion.
to completion. Yeah, he finished.
He
He
fucking
finished.
shit.
She gave him a hand job until he finished.
And for the first time, I want to say
Yeah.
pretty confidently,
Yeah.
the first time ever a human jerked off a dolphin.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I could say
Ever.
that.
I don't think that ever happened before.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, the science community they didn't think it was possible for a dolphin to finish because it wasn't another dolphin. Like they didn't think interspecies was possible.
I mean, weren't they
Friction
doing?
is
weren't,
friction.
weren't they doing?
Well, that means that they are doing it for
Also,
the pleasure.
dude. Well,
Not
no,
for
dolphins do.
the-
Dolphins have sex for
Dolphins
pleasure.
do.
They do.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know that this is actually really interesting? The majority of all dolphins are all bisexual. Like it's very rare when they're heterosexual or homosexual. They're all bisexual. They just fuck.
Really, dolphins
Everything.
just want to fuck everything.
Yeah.
That's
That's
they
their
they
thing.
don't care what it is.
Yeah.
They can put their penis in it or around it.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
Objectifying.
By the way,
shit.
though, I mean that dolphin experienced something that no other dolphins ever experienced because it's never felt what a human's hands.
Yeah.
That
doing.
also,
Yeah.
I mean, she did it specifically for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't like rape her. He
No.
didn't do it. He just sat there and was like, "Oh man, something's happening now."
Yeah.
Well, he was bugging her.
He
Well,
was bugging
yeah.
her, but I mean, like a dolphin can't. I mean, a dolphin can't jerk
Well, here's the
himself
thing.
off, and
The
a dolphin
dolphin
can't,
didn't.
like.
The dolphin wasn't asking for a hand job. The dolphin was asking for give me a hole of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolphin hole.
The dolphin was really upset that none of the furniture was fuckable.
I mean, he's
This
basically
is-
like
this is-
bring
this is a
bring
trip.
bring your
I can't
This happened. This really
dude,
happened.
It happened.
This really happened on the government's money. The United States government
Tell your grandparents,
paid
y'all.
a woman to jerk off a dolphin.
By the way, it didn't help that she like every single day painted her lips.
Yeah, she
black.
painted her face like
That's
a
the
dolphin.
closest thing to a dolphin, like a thing to put stuff in that a dolphin. It's like that's the closest thing I've ever seen to a dolphin's.
in
In
a
a long time. Yeah. So he's like, can you put that black lipstick on and just bring your mouth
Just
down?
put your face in the water,
Put your
girl.
face in the water. Oh,
So she
God.
jerks him off.
She jerks him off. So, by the way, the whole time Lily's just watching this whole thing, and he
Yeah.
was getting aroused out of watching
and
this
he
for
believes
sure.
he believes the experiment's working. And I quote, he said, "New, totally unexpected sequence of events took place. I feel that we are in the midst of a new becoming, moving into a new, previously unknown."
Oh my god.
He's really just like, oh my god, this is like he's really thinking we're learning some stuff right now.
What is there to fucking
By the way,
learn?
just the idea of this guy who's like, this is somehow gonna lead to talking to aliens. Like,
This whole
this
thing-
is
this
gonna
whole
lead
thing.
somewhere.
This whole thing is one, paid for by the government, and two, hopefully just gonna get us talking to aliens.
Yeah. Dude, by
And
the-
three, Everyone's got their own different goals.
Yeah.
The Navy's like, we want scouts. John C. Lilly's
they're
I want to talk to
Dolphins
aliens.
are gonna invade Iraq. That's their whole thing.
Yeah. The research assistant's like, I want a letter of recommendation. And the Dolphin's like, I want to get laid.
He's like, I just want to finish.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, you're right. Every has something they want.
Dolphin's just like, I got a nut. That's all it is.
Everybody's got something riding on this. So, by the way, right after this happened, Peter became very gentle with how he would lovingly nuzzle and stroke her legs. He would roll on his belly and present his genitals
was all about
to her.
cuddling.
Remember, before he was like ramming her and like trying to rub his dick on her, but now he's like he'd
Invite
roll
her.
on his back and he'd just show her his dick.
Yeah.
Hal was no longer depressed during that time at the villa.
She felt
She
better.
can. I mean, by the way, this is not a one-time thing. She continued.
This
like masturbating
happened
him. Like this is like a daily.
This happened all
Yeah.
the time now.
It was a thing.
She just started
Yeah.
doing it.
Howe continued the experiment, which now involved sexually releasing Peter daily. And quote, this is a quote from her.
Also, dude, you're living in an apartment just kind of with dolphin semen floating around. I mean, hopefully she cleaned up. God, just...
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
There's a lot of logistical things I
if
have
she
questions about.
wasn't cleaning up and there was like a cleaning guy,
Oh, my God.
poor guy. Oh.
Oh, man.
And
yeah.
by the way, I mean, you got another guy, Lily, taking
I mean, he's a
notes.
big fish. It's
Yeah.
got to be a lot of...
I mean, he shits too.
Oh, God, he shits too.
Yeah. By the way, the whole time Lily's taking notes. There's a photographer, like a cinematographer, taking like a video of this whole thing.
Oh, man, yeah.
There's a lot of people involved. So here's a quote. She said, "It was very precious. It was very gentle. It was sexual on his part. It was not sexual on mine." Then she pauses. Sensuous, perhaps.
These people are insane.
So week 10 comes around.
She was feeling...
She low-key was, man.
Yeah, sensual,
She's one of your
perhaps.
people, Courtney.
One of my people.
One of your objective, whatever.
No, it's
people.
a dolphin.
Courtney's like, what,
Zoo-
what do you mean you...
Courtney's like,
Zoo.
my people.
No,
She
is
almost
it?
quit the show right now.
Well, it would be called zoophilia, right? Or
Yeah,
zoophilia.
something like that,
Yeah.
probably.
So, okay, week 10 comes around. The experiment is quickly shut down. Howe moves on to other research, and Peter is moved to a tank in Miami. I mean, pretty much before, before he even finishes the next time, they get separated. He's got the ultimate case of blue balls. He's moved across the country. She's gone.
Yeah.
Right? So, here's the fallout of everything that happened, right? Peter. A dolphin psychologist who examined Peter after the experiment confirms that Peter is displaying all the signs of a dolphin in love. Like he was in love with her. Within 1 year of the termination of the experiment, Peter becomes the first dolphin ever recorded to commit suicide.
Poor Peter.
He is the only dolphin. Well, he's the first dolphin, but there's been two. But he's the first dolphin to commit suicide. Here's the thing: the reason why is because dolphins aren't like us. When we fall asleep or when we stop consciously breathing, our body will start to automatically start breathing.
Yeah.
Right.
Dolphins and whales are not like that. They have to breathe. They have to make the conscious choice to breathe. Surface and breathe. So, dude, he drowned himself. Like a dolphin drowned himself on purpose because he was so depressed.
I need to get my fix.
He died of a broken heart.
He died of a broken
And,
heart, yeah.
Blue balls.
That too.
And by the way, they put him with other dolphins and he would not
He wouldn't have sex with them.
have sex with them. Yeah.
He got used to that kung fu grip. He
Dude,
couldn't-
he couldn't go. Once you go human, you can never go back. So
Dude, he had like a weird Stockholm syndrome
Yeah.
PTSD thing going on.
Dude, he did. He was kidnapped, basically thrown into this house. With
Yeah,
this
he was just like really mentally and emotionally
Yeah.
traumatized.
Yeah.
And then someone jerked him off, and he was like, "I think I love you." And then Jesus, it didn't end well for Peter.
No.
The second dolphin ever, by the way, was named Kathy. She was actually the second flipper on the TV show, and she was depressed after she was retired from the show, and apparently she was in a tank by herself. Also, her trainer came to visit her and came into the water. Kathy swam up to the trainer, looked her right in the eyes, and then died. Just immediately, just stopped breathing and died. Just took his last
Holy
breath.
crap.
Dolphins can choose to die when they want.
I think also we gotta stop naming dolphins people names.
Well, what's a dolphin name?
Flipper.
Flipper, Echo.
Echo. Actually, by the way, the game he just referenced, Echo the Dolphin,
is based. Well, it's not based on anything.
It's inspired.
And someone heard the story and was like, "That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to make a video game about a dolphin."
The whole research of John C. Riley,
Yeah.
Echo, John C. Lilly.
Riley is not.
Like the actor.
Yeah.
John C. Lilly, the research inspired that game, and that's why they named him Echo, right? The aliens, the Echo aliens,
Yeah.
right? You fight aliens in that game. So
Yeah.
anyway, okay, so what happens to Margaret Howe? Margaret married the photographer who was recording the events at the villa.
Which gross, dude.
Yeah.
The photographer's just like, I like to
Dude,
jerk
by
that
the way,
dolphin
dude,
off.
that's the thing.
Let's get a drink sometime.
If you are a partner of someone you're marrying and you're like, I have seen you finish off a animal, like, how do you even, unless you're into it?
yeah.
That's,
He was taking all those pictures, and he was
he
like,
knows all your dirty little secrets.
Dude,
so
they look at the pictures.
how can you
sometimes.
date somebody normal and be like, yeah, by the way, I used to jerk off a dolphin back in when I was in, my.
I was young. I was 23
Yeah.
in college.
I was really trying to get into
I
grad
mean,
school.
I mean, one girl, girl talk. One girl's like, oh yeah, I had like a threesome in college. It was like a thing. I was kind of crazy. And then she's like, yeah, well, I was in college. I jerked off a dolphin. It was kind of crazy. I didn't talk to him though after that.
Oh man.
Okay, so later, no, it gets weirder, dude. She married the photographer. Later, she moved into the villa that this whole thing happened, and she raised 3 daughters in that villa.
They drained it.
They drained it.
And she was
Right.
like, well, let's live here. It's really nice. I've been
And
here before.
she said, quote, "It was a good place. There's a good feeling in that building all the time."
No, just
Dude.
no.
Man, people are
Dude,
fucked
Dude,
up.
I'm just saying when listen, I think it's kind of a fact. When she was having sex with her photographer husband, she was imagining the dolphin and he was imagining her with the dolphin. It
Yeah.
was
That
mutual.
could be fair to say, I
Yeah.
guess.
They had like this weird dolphin fetishism.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's where mermaids come from.
That's not where mermaids come from.
I don't want to believe
I
that.
don't, yeah.
Mermaids came from manatees.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
So John C. Lilly, right? What happens to our scientist? Lilly is actually, like, it's confirmed, he has taken more psychedelic substances than any other neuroscientist ever on himself.
And I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like that is a huge field of people, really,
Yeah.
but he probably did a lot more
Yeah.
than any other. Like, some guy making LSD
I mean, remember
was
this.
like,
This whole
couple
thing
tabs.
where they're saying he's taken the most, drugs out of any neuroscientist, that's at work. I mean, he
Yeah.
did this at home too,
Yeah.
So one journalist visited his residence for an interview, and upon answering the door, he says to the journalist, "We have one rule in this house. No one can take drugs of any kind and drive back down that road." So he's responsible.
No,
he's
that's
like, if you
good.
take drugs, you
You're
don't
staying the
drive.
night.
You're staying the night. And the journalist said within 5 minutes he offered her acid and K. She just sat down, and he's like, "You want?"
he's got like a little candy dish.
2 movies were based on his research: Altered States and Day of the Dolphin. He died in 2001 of a heart attack, and during the later stages of his life, because he was shunned by the scientific community, he was mostly associated with like the New Age thinking
Also,
community.
the scientific community was finally like, dude, what the fuck have you been doing all this time?
Well,
Like,
I mean, the funny thing about that is up until the whole
it was pretty much
woman-
until someone jerked off a dolphin
Yeah.
when they were like, whoa, man.
I mean,
hey,
That's the limit, right?
they
this
were
is, yeah.
they were okay.
I'm cool with you taking drugs
Yeah.
all the time.
The
I'm cool with
LSD
you.
for the dolphins. That's okay.
I'm cool with you getting dolphins fucked
Yeah.
up and emotionally traumatizing them. But as soon as you
I'm
fuck
okay with
one,
the ape man. Like the ape man was fine too. All right, but
Well, imagine like a study like that today. Like all
It
the
would never
animal
get
rights
there
I'd
today.
never
activists.
get it. It
Right.
would never happen.
yeah.
That's
it
like-
would have never happened
yeah.
ever.
So okay, so when asked, right? So when the scientists were asked about this whole thing, the journalist, she said this: when asked about him, mainstream scientists tend to shake their heads sadly, as if recalling someone recently deceased. This is before he died.
just
Before
like,
he
oh,
died, they're just
this
like,
guy.
John Lilly, that guy. And another quote about him, another neuroscientist associate of his said this: The trouble with Lily is that he's in love with death. But God, he's brilliant. Dude, he's in love with death.
It's very similar to the quote I said about the guy who worked for George in the CIA. When he was like, what did he say? I don't remember what he said, but something along the lines of like, he was a piece of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But God damn it, he was a good cop.
Yeah. There's 2 quotes I just want to leave you with. Not quotes. He had 9 rules associated with his belief in the Echo aliens, and I don't want to read you all 9 rules. But one of them I thought was kind of like absurdly funny. One of the rules, the 9 rules of these Echo aliens he believes in is, you are expected to expect the unexpected every minute, every hour of every day and every night.
You are expected to expect the unexpected.
Every minute, yeah.
That sounds like something someone said when they were high.
And one of the mantras of his research clinic was this: cosmic love is absolutely ruthless and highly indifferent. It teaches its lessons whether you dislike them or not. I don't know.
Peter knows that all too well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that listen, by the way though, gosh, I can't believe that for a topic of romance,
We went with people in love with objects and a dolphin in love with a person.
One day we have got to have a normal story, but I don't know. Did you guys
Why would we go that route?
Did you guys have difficulty finding topics for the romance topic?
Not really.
No, I mean I had one, but mine is.
Just mention yours briefly.
It's very, very briefly. It's just that people in Japan are no longer interested. Like pretty much anyone under 40 in Japan, not anyone, but a lot of people are like not interested in dating or relationships or sex in general.
And the government is investing a lot of money into.
Yeah.
They're calling it celibacy syndrome. Like they're really worried that by like 2060.
There's a vegetarian man or vegan man or something like that. There's a term for it. Like I think it's vegetarian man or green man or something like that.
Yeah.
That is addressing the fact that men are kind of like.
Well, the women too. Nobody wants to. I mean, like basically though, these are like young people in their 20s and they're just not having sex. Actually, Japan is the oldest country in the world right now because the average age of the population is, I believe, it's like late 40s or like early 50s. It's like in that range.
Actually, pretty recently they sold. Nationwide, they sold more adult diapers than baby diapers.
And that's a problem.
Man.
For any country, it's a problem because that means your workforce is too old. Compared to the U.S., right? The U.S., the average age, which is still kind of old. The U.S. is an old country. The average age in the U.S. is 42.
Our reproduction rates are going down here. Sex rates, definitely not. But having kids is dropping
Nobody
a lot.
can afford it.
Exactly,
the youngest country in the world is actually massively young. It's India. The average age of a person in India is 25, dude. Everybody, like 60% of the population is like in their 20s.
In their 20s, wow.
Dude, apparently,
the term is herbivore man.
Herbivore man.
That's the term.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because apparently,
vegetarian.
I was in the
You were
field.
kind of close, yeah.
You know, the concept is that men are afraid of approaching women because they're afraid that they're going to get rejected. But then they also don't want women that will come onto them because then they see them as like sluts. And they don't want that either.
And there's the conundrum.
So that's where it's kind of like, you know.
By the way, another explanation as to why this whole thing's happening in Japan is because people keep marrying anime characters and video game characters. I mean, they're getting married. They're just not having sex with somebody who can reproduce.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, great episode.
I just broke my chair.
Oh, gosh.
No, I mean, I got it.
That's fine. It probably falls off all the time. Do you guys first of all, Cynthia, do you have... Dude, I did it again. In the beginning of the episode, I didn't have Cynthia talk about herself.
She just said her name and...
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, Cynthia, do you have any shout-outs? Is there anything you want to promote?
Well, this upcoming Saturday, I am going to be at this event called Life Without Barriers, which is kind of like an event that's open to the public. Entrance is free, and I will be selling some shirts hand-painted by myself, and I will be selling some Mexican pastries also baked and made by myself, and kind of spreading the word about veganism. So if anybody's in town, it's in Boyle Heights, and follow my Instagram page, MexVegana, and you can get all the details.
Cool.
What is the Life Without Barriers thing for?
Oh, it's just like an art festival showcasing local artists and vendors and all that. All these cool people from, Boyle Heights against gentrification and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Courtney, any shout-outs or anything you want to signal?
Shout out to my boyfriend.
Oh, you got a boyfriend? You didn't tell me.
Well, no.
I mean, I haven't seen you in a long time, so I guess that's,
Well, yeah, it's not exactly something I go up and say, hey, you know what? I got a boyfriend now, man. Because, it's kind of like, yeah.
That's what your T-shirts say, right? I have a boyfriend now.
Anyways, yeah. Hi, Justin. Bye.
Cool. Courtney?
No, I got nothing.
All right. Ryan?
Thanks for the ride. Down here. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Noosh?
I'm signal. Yeah, thank you. I'm signal boosting the Public Relations Student Society of America on campus for Cal State Dominguez Hills, the Public Interest Committee in that organization. By the way, I'm like speaking as if I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm the vice president of that club.
Yeah, you did still have to look it up on your phone.
By the way, let me know. There's a meeting for PRSSA today, and I'm like, all right, guys, I got my show. My show comes first. So, okay, the PIC committee in that organization, they're having a fundraiser event at Shakey's, which is located on, it's one Carson, 665 East Alamo Boulevard, Carson. The event starts at 7 p.m., ends at 9 p.m. It's a fundraiser on February 23rd, 2017, so that's Thursday.
Okay.
So come on out, support PRSSA. We really like to meet you. We're all fun-loving people.
You're a good vice president.
I mean, for any of the, you know what? I'm about to say something that I'm not even sure if it's kosher. I don't know. I was about to say there's only like 2 guys in the club, so the entire club is like just girls.
Oh man.
I mean, if you come out, it's singles night. I don't know.
He's
just come out.
I got chicks.
Buy some pizza. Listen, man, when it comes to a club trying to build up, on campus, yeah, you do what you can to get people to come out,
Cool, man. Yeah.
All right, so thank you very much for joining us for another episode. We will see you next week for whatever topic we come up with for then. And Ryan, what is what song we got today?
I want you to say it.
All right, so it is. Okay, it's the song is On and On featuring Daniel Levy, and the group is called Cartoon.
Yes.
Wait, I got it right?
Yeah, because you always do it backwards.
I thought On and On was the group.
No.
Oh, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to do it
You
wrong.
accidentally did it right.
I accidentally did. So, okay, so the song is Cartoon by the band On and On. No, the song is On and On by the band Cartoon.
You already passed.
Cool, man.
Okay. And the wiffle ball goes.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR, please visit www.kdhr.net. The intro song for this show is Space Ace by Blind. This music is made available thanks to Overclocked Remix. For more information, please visit ocremix.org.